Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Today we're working on the beauty of a car. It's a 1971 Delray Winchester. And today we're going to rebuild it to factory standard as it's the first one we've done of this type. We bought this car from the barn for £17,269. It has a V8 1 carb 0 HV engine, which means it should be pretty good on a top speed test at least. Lap time, older cars tend to struggle a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. As always, we'll start by taking out the engine and we'll do the engine rebuild first. While we're setting all this up, I just want to talk about what's coming up in terms of the game itself. So they have announced those are going to be a drag racing DLC. When you're seeing this video, the DLC for hot rods will already be out. We'll be doing them in factory rebuild videos going forward. They're actually coming up very soon. The DLC that's going to be added for the drag races is going to be interesting because that gives us another leaderboard to look at. So it does look like we're going to have 3 leaderboards. We'll have the racetrack, as we have been doing. We'll have the top speed and then the drag race. I'm not too sure how it's all going to work yet, so it's something we've got to think about and see how we're going to fit it into our current standings. But because we've done some cars already, we won't be able to redo them cars for the drag race because we haven't kept them, we've sold them. But we still need to do 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star parts for all the cars. We've only done 1-star as the maximum level we've got to so far. So that does enable us to get roughly the same times they would have got on the drag race previously, because 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star parts don't increase performance. Although we have had some variations in what they actually do have around the track, and there's no variations really with top speed, it's more track times, but then we can put it down to me, maybe. So going forward, we will be doing that once it comes out. So that's something else to look forward to. As always, if you're enjoying this series or any series on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episodes does really help as well. Now, let's go back to rebuilding this engine. So it's a V8 1 carb. So this is going to take a little bit of time, mainly because of the push rods. So we'll speed up this and we'll see you on the other side. There we have it. Engine is nearly completely taken apart. Some of the parts I think we should be able to fix, some not so much. We'll have to buy new ones, but off we go. We'll fix the parts, fix the ones we can. We'll come back and rebuild this fabulous engine. And that's everything fixed and brought. Hopefully, I haven't forgotten anything this time. And then once again, we're going to rebuild this because of the push rods. We'll speed this up. It can get a bit tedious. So we'll see you shortly. So last little parts going on to the engine now. Let's put the air filter on, and then we've got the air filter cover. And I think that is everything, unless I've forgotten something. V8's 1 carb, 2 carb engines, they all look amazing. They're big, they're bold. I do like them. I think they're really good. There's something about the smaller engines I do really like as well, though they seem more compact. But I just think the V8s, they look like a beast every time. I'm always really proud of when we've finished rebuilding a V8. There's something about it that really fills me with happiness. Much like the game itself, to be fair. So now we're going to take apart the suspension and everything in the engine bay. But I always make life easy for myself, so we're going to take all the fuses out, and then we'll set it to putting them all back. But all we'll do is add them to a shopping list. That way, we're less likely to forget something. That's the way I do things. I just think it's easier. If I press the right button, it does help. But adding them to a shopping list at this point means you shouldn't miss buying them. And you're not going to make any mistakes of buying the wrong ones either. I'm just trying to avoid spending money unnecessarily. I know we don't really have to worry about money now. We've got to that point of where we are fairly well off in terms of cars money. Although that'll easily get spent when we buy loads of cars, to be honest. It doesn't last long. And we'll just highlight everything in the engine bay that we need to replace. And we'll add that to our shopping list as well. Try not to miss anything. Reservoirs we all know. May have done one more than once, but we know there's only one of each type of reservoir. There's a battery there we do need as well. There we go. That is done. I think that's everything. So we'll raise the car up, and then we will strip apart the suspension, and we'll come back when we're just about finished stripping the car. So that's the suspension nearly done. Last few bits to take off. And we'll also take off the exhaust system. And I always find as well, for me, once you take all the exhaust off, because they can't be fixed, if you go underneath and highlight the exhaust system and put it as if you're going to replace it, you can then actually add all the parts to your shopping list once more, so you don't miss anything. I just find this a lot easier, makes my life better, speeds things up for myself as well, to be fair. I just find it a better way of doing things. It's all about making life easy. That's kind of what I kind of go for, and I think this does that. Okay, I think that is all of them now done. Does look like it. So what have we not got? What have we not done? We've got to take the bodywork off. That is something that needs doing. We haven't done that yet. Most of it looks in pretty good shape, although obviously glass will need replacing and the lights will need replacing. But I think most of the bodywork can be fixed. That's going to save us some money as well. That will increase our profit. It's never a bad thing to increase your profit where you can. Small window there. They were so easy to miss them, small windows. Trunk off as well. Rear lights and rear bumper. There we go. Don't miss this little tiny window on the back of the left now. And just one headlight to go. Yes, there we go. Now we do need to take the internals out. Obviously we replace these. It's annoying you can't fix the seats, but it kind of makes sense because you have to reupholster them. You wouldn't be able to just fix them willy-nilly, so it does make sense. It's always the thing I forget about if I'm not careful. So we'll add these to our shopping list as well. Just once again, it just makes it easier to find them. I don't tend to change what they are. I kind of keep to the whatever it says should be the standard factory ones. I don't see the point. Performance one, we'll think about it, but I'm not too sure at this point. And welding the car, just to make sure the frame is back to how it should be. And that should be everything done. So we're going to go off, fix everything, buy the bits we need, and we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Okay, that is everything done. So we'll start with putting the engine back in and doing all the engine based stuff. As usual, we're going to fast forward, speed things up for you guys. I thought we'd do the engine first this time, just because we can refill all the reservoirs at the same time. We'll see you when this car is back to running condition. And then we have it. That is the suspension almost all put back together, just the exhaust to go on now. And I think we've done a pretty good job. It's not taking too long. Like I say previously, most cars take us roughly an hour, from start to finish, to strip, rebuild, put back together, and then another 20 minutes or so to do the laps and everything else. So it's not too bad. Obviously, we condense this down as much as possible to make it better for you guys. I do feel a bit bad that we don't show as much in real time, but then again, the videos would be about an hour long if I did that. I think it makes sense to do it this way. For those that are into the Rust Racer series as well, we've started the third episode. I'm not sure when I'm going to be a chance to do it. It's going to take a while to get all the parts. We have recorded the third episode. I just haven't edited it yet. I'm hoping to get that out in the next week or so. Hopefully that will happen. It's one of these things that takes so much time, and we have a lot of games on the go at the minute, which is obviously an issue. But I had to make up for the Easter holidays by having these extra things like WWE on the go, which has kind of put me backwards. I like to be ahead, and I'm kind of not anymore. So we're gonna try and work that out. We've got to try and fit the rest of the WWE series in as well. But yeah, we've got quite a few games on the go, including live stream games as well. Anyway, let's stop talking about other games. Let's concentrate on what we're doing, shall we? So the car is near enough done. I think we got everything on there now. Just double check. Everything is 100% factory standard. So now we're going to go off and clean the car, paint the car, and we'll see you and show you what we've done. Here we are. Slightly different. I went for the blue effect. I like the look of the back because of the way the dark blue goes over the little hump on the trunk there. I just really like the way that looks. And the way the narrow front end kind of narrows into this dark blue with my outline. I think that looks pretty nice. I'm really happy with that. I think we did a good job. It looks nice. It doesn't probably look as old as it should. It is from 1971. The colour probably makes it look a bit more modern, but I like the look of it. I think we did a good job in picking the colours. I'm getting a bit more adventurous, let's say. I think my little boy's helped with that when he's picked some of the colours for cars. Okay, quick look inside the car, and then we are heading to the racetrack for our best lap. Nice inside. And now this is our best lap. This was the 4th lap of the 5 we were allowed. You can see the times have been fairly consistent. The 2:02 is obviously our standing start. and then we got a 156 and a 157. But this fourth lap was our best one out of all of them. I will say the car itself handles pretty well. It's not as bad as some of the older cars. Some of the older cars you do find they just really struggle if you try and turn while accelerating. This wasn't too bad. My biggest gripe with this car was the brakes were horrendous. For the V8 1 carb 0 HP engine it does have, the brakes don't seem to be able to cope with the speed. So you can't take off enough speed in the corners without braking really early, and that is obviously going to affect its lap time. Each car seems to have these little quirks that you kind of change. I suppose in one way it's actually realistic in terms of the age of the car, 1971, brakes wouldn't be that advanced. So it does make sense it struggles a little bit under braking. So far, so good. Quite tidy. Trying to just hit the braking points. Trying to make sure we hit the apexes, go as tight into this corner as possible with the fastest time. That's quite hard to do. Normally I struggle a little bit with that corner. But we're getting there. Now, a couple more corners to go. The long left-hander now. Can we hold this round? We've got to feather the throttle as we go round it. Keep us close to the inside if we can. Use the banking as well to increase our speed. A little bit of a corner cut there, but we did have 2 wheels on the track, just. Final few corners now. Long straight first though. And this is where you can really see its speed getting up. And I think this is where the lap time does increase so well because of the speed of the car on the straights. To brake heavily for this corner. Hitting the corner about 100 kilometers per hour, just over. We've got one more corner to go now. Last final corner. And we're going to cross the line with a time of 1:55.231. And that is 13th on our leaderboard. So nowhere near as quick as I thought it was. Our leaderboard is very competitive. It's the 13th place. Now, top speed. Now, with a V8 1 carb 0 HP engine, this car should be doing some incredible speeds. Most of our cars near the top, probably V8 2 carbs, but a 1 carb should be there or thereabouts, I would have thought. Obviously there are other restrictions, gearbox and stuff like that, but I'm hoping for a good top speed. I'm estimating over 200 kilometers per hour minimum would be my estimate, just because of the size of the engine, we shall see. Climbing quickly now, up to 180 kilometers per hour, hasn't taken that long. We're in 4th gear, up to 190. I think we're definitely going to hit that 200 mark, but it is slowing down a little bit now. It's not going up as quickly as it was. 200 kilometers, we're over. We'll surpass that. Coming to the end of the track though now, it's running out of time. And we are going to finish with a 214 kilometers per hour, 132.973 miles per hour, and pretty much like the lap time, 13th on our leaderboard. This car likes the number 13. So our total spend was £12,817 to fix everything, including buying. It was £30,086. We're going to sell it for £53,759, a profit of £23,673. So not the biggest profit we've ever made, not the biggest selling price. 13th on both leaderboards. I'd say it's a pretty okay all-round car, but it's another one in the books on the leaderboards, and that is that done. So that is it for today. We'll see you next time, and as I say, if you are enjoying this series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episodes does really help as well. We'll see you for the next rebuild.